Hello and welcome back, I'm Sean. Today we're going to take a look at two models of Huawei's latest smartwatch, the 46mm as well as the 42mm Watch GT5 Pro. So let's check it out. So there are so many things that makes me love these watches here. Both of these watches are similar in theory but are pretty different when it comes to the internals and the watches. So starting with the build material, both of these watches, unlike the regular Watch GT5, have very fancy materials. So the more rugged 46mm that we have here comes with a titanium alloy body, which is very nice material, and the color used here is the gunmetal grey and is also really nice. And the 42mm here comes with a very premium material as well, which is a nanocrystalline ceramic, where you usually find them in some high-end watches like Rado, Bell & Ross and many more. And ceramic is also tougher than stainless steel, so it's a great but expensive materials for watches. And the second thing I love about these watches is the strap that you get with them, and both of the straps that you get here are very high quality and smooth to wear, and not just basic plain straps. The 46mm comes with a textured strap for extra grip but not a pain to wear, and the 42mm comes with this beautiful geometry design that I'm sure most ladies will love. And I also love the display you get with both of these watches, and there are some differences here, and both of them comes with a resolution of 466 by 466 resolution, and because of the 46mm comes with a larger 1.43 inch versus the 1.32 inch on the 42mm, but in reality both watches are extremely sharp at normal distances, but the 42mm just slightly sharper in my opinion. And also great news here, both of these watches have AMOLED HD display. So the blacks are really black. Another area that I really love is the tech and sensors that you get with this watch, and it gets quite a lot of stuff. So you're gonna get an accelerometer, a gyroscope, which is pretty standard stuff, and you also get a barometer as well as a magnetometer. Well, that sounds very fancy, but it's actually just a compass. On top of that, you also get continuous heart rate monitoring, SpO2 and ECG, but that depends on the region that you are. And with both of this, I also like the waterproofing that you get, and you get a respectable 5 ATM and an IP69K water resistant rating, meaning it supports pool swimming, open water swim, and probably not extreme deep sea diving, but it will withstand any surface water sports and perform perfectly well. And both of these watches also supports gentle diving up to 40 meters. And another feature that I really love is the dual band GPS positioning, and you're also going to get really accurate reading even in challenging situations. And the Bluetooth 5.2 chipset also allows you to connect the watch to external Bluetooth heart rate sensors. Oh, and did I mention, unlike some other brands, this Huawei watch works great with both iOS and Android phones. So there's really very little for me in terms of these watches that I don't really like, and although these watches are really light, so the 46mm model comes in at 53 grams and this one comes in at 44 grams. I did let my wife try it on and she did mention the weight a little bit, but she was used to wearing her really light Samsung watch, so this was a slight step up in terms of weight, and she found that this is actually much heavier. As much as I love the innovative band with Huawei's over-engineered quick release system, I felt that the ones on the 46mm is slightly complicated with the additional latch that you need to align. It's not a major problem, but does add a layer of friction, especially for users with some mobility or dexterity issues. And lastly, just a nitpicking point, the black 46mm watch comes with a white wireless charger, and I know they're trying to keep it generic, but it would be great at this price point that the chargers could also be color-coded. And with that said, the 46mm comes in the awesome titanium alloy bezel, comes in at 1,399 Malaysia ringgit, and the 42mm comes in at 1,999 ringgit for that lovely ceramic case. And if you find value in what you hear and like what you see, I hope you can support the channel by subscribing to the channel and ring the notification bell so the YouTube algorithm can pick this up. And if you want to buy this watch, do check out my links below. So let's talk a little bit about battery life that you get here, and starting with the 46mm watch with the 524 mAh battery. With very basic use, you're going to get about 14 days of use per charge, and 9 days if you use the 24 hours heart rate monitoring, some phone calls, music listening, some workouts, sleep tracking. And on top of that, if you turn on always on display, you're going to get about 5 days of battery life. As for the 42mm watch with a smaller 323 mAh battery, you're still going to get about 7 days with basic use, 5 days with tracking, calls, workouts, sleep tracking, and 3 days with the always on display turned on. So I personally love the watch design of both the Watch GT Pro that I have here, and I think they are very well designed and gorgeous watch. Just going it around again, if you missed it earlier, starting with the 46mm, you're going to get a titanium alloy 46mm bezel with a gorgeous 1.43 inch AMOLED HD display. Beautiful screen, very sharp, high resolution, and you do get two buttons here. One rotating bezel that is used for the menu and also scrolling around, and a button at the bottom here as a sports button and can be customizable. So at the case here, you do get a very rugged minute design on the bezel and a beautiful strap all along the side with a titanium buckle here with the Huawei branding there, which I really like, meaning no one will actually know what brand of watch you're wearing because there's no other Huawei branding here. With this watch, you're going to get a 22mm strap and it's nice and smooth to wear with a slightly textured design. And behind the watch here is a comprehensive set of sensors, and you can also use the provided wireless charger to charge the watch up. And with the 42mm model, this is Huawei's flagship female model for the GT5 Pro, and it's also a gorgeous model for ladies who would love the great minimalist design with that nice white ceramic bezel along the entire nano-crystalline ceramic body. And at the front here is a smaller 1.32-inch AMOLED HD display, also super high resolution and sharp, and you get the same two buttons here, but the dials are a lot more polished and elegant here. So with this watch, you're going to get an 18mm strap, and you get that very beautiful and nice geometric design here. The good news is that it doesn't affect wearability and it's still very easy to put on. And behind that, you also get the same set of sensors, but this time with an ultra stealthy font that is almost invisible. Similarly, you can also charge it up using the wireless charger with this watch. So the watch interface here is very similar on both watches, so I'll just go through one to show you how the watch works. So at the homepage here, this is where you get to choose all your different types of watch faces that you want. And with this model that we selected here, we get the path of your most recent outdoor workout. And you can also press and hold on the screen. Here you can also scroll through all the different watch faces that you want to use or choose what you like. So swiping from the top will bring down the command center, and this is where you get to see all the settings that you want to do, and you can also go into settings to control more of your watch. And swiping from the bottom will bring up your notification center. And do take note that if you have photos coming in, there isn't any picture shown here and just an icon of a camera. Swiping from the left does bring you to your smart controls or smart assistants or maybe your widgets, and here you can also scroll through with the dial so you can see what you have here. And swiping from the right brings you to all the cards that you have, and here you can customize it to whatever you want, and these are all customizable in the app itself. So the top button here lets you go into your menu, and this is where you see a nice grid style, but if you want to change it, all you need to do is just scroll the rotating dial and you can actually get into all the different types of styles. And at the top here you can click and it goes into list view, or you can click it again to go back to your grid view and you can zoom in or zoom out. And finally, the button at the bottom allows you to customize many different functions, and here I have it set to my quickly accessing the menus, the spots that you have. Inside here you get 100 plus of spots that you can actually customize into your watch so you can access them easier. So just to let you know that you can actually receive and answer phone calls directly on your watch here with the onboard speaker, and you can also load music onto your watch and listen to them directly. And the sound quality is actually pretty decent for a watch. So using the Huawei Health App, in the first tab here you get to see and take a look at your health information, and here you get to see everything related to your health, your heart rate, your exercise, your sleep information, all under one tab. And under the second tab, this is where you get to start your workout activities, and it's also where you can take a look at your previous exercise and get a summary of them. And the device page, this is where you get to see your beautiful new watch, and here you get the battery percentage as well, which is pretty great. And below there are mostly settings and not so much an app to monitor your health status. So here you get to enable your health monitoring, your notification settings, find your device which will play a sound on your watch, alarm, weather reports, and your favorite contacts. So you also get to update your firmware when there is a new one out. So that's basically everything you get to do with the Huawei Health App. So alright, to the most exciting part, which is the accuracy test, and I must say that with this watch it's really accurate when it comes to tracking your activities. And I had a couple of runs with this watch, and even for an indoor treadmill run, this watch is extremely accurate in my opinion. And when comparing both of these watches, yes, I know that they run the same algorithm, but heart rate is spot on when wearing them on both of my arms. And since I use one hand to control the speed of the treadmill as I run, I can see that when I'm controlling the treadmill, the pace actually drops significantly because there isn't any movement with my hands. But when I get back to running, both watches have matching paces, which also matches the pace I see on the treadmill. Good news here is that when I speed up on the treadmill, I see that the pace increases almost immediately, and it is very responsive. Heart rate information is also really accurate since it's hovering around my usual BPM as compared to how I'm feeling at the moment. So to be honest, I think I would trust this for tracking my workouts. And I think the GPS onboard is also really accurate, and it does detect even slight changes in my movements from where I'm walking or running, and this is also thanks to the dual band GPS you get with both of these watches. The unfortunate thing here is that you don't have Strava support directly on the watch itself, so you might need to figure out how to export the GPX file and load it into Strava and things like that. So all in all, a fantastic watch that I think rivals the best in the industry like Apple and Samsung. And if you want a do-it almost all watch that works with both iOS and Android, and you want something trustable to track your health as well as your workouts, then I think the GT5 Pro is definitely one that you should check out. Also, if you want a more price-friendly Huawei watch that I think will meet most of your fitness tracking need, then the Huawei Watch Fit 3 right over here is the watch you need to check out. And I'll see you right over at the video.